Hi, I'm Alexa.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Megan.
And we did the book Freakonomics, not Super Freakonomics.
The first chapter.
It's all about cheating and incentives and talks about school teachers and how they relate to sumo wrestlers.
So with incentives, we have the three types of moral, social, and economic incentives. And we can see that with the teachers and the sumo wrestlers because teachers didn't really want to lose their jobs, so they cheated, and sumo wrestlers cheated just kind of to keep their ranks.
I think in today's society that we see this a lot in school with us being in high school, that like teachers do favor some children and and that is very evident in our society, and I think cheating is becoming more of like an okay thing to do. Yeah. Do you have something to say?
No,
Okay.
I thought you were out of words.
No.
I know. Well, anyway, we see cheating every day in high school because we do see people that cheat on tests and they get really far ahead. So people think it's okay because if they cheat and they do so well, they think it's okay for them to cheat. But it's a pretty vicious cycle that has to stop. And even the sumo wrestlers were supposed to be like loyal and really high respected members of society, and they were just cheating just so they didn't lose their ranking or their friends didn't lose their ranking in their little sumo wrestling ring.
You were the guy who did the bagel business, and he just put out the platter of bagels, and he just asked for $1 for every bagel you took. And I guess they found that like even the people with the highest paying incomes were the ones most often not paying like the $1 for their bagel.
Yeah, I saw a quote in the book, and it was like, if anything worth having is something worth cheating for. And I mean, some people really live by that motto nowadays.
It's awful.
That is,
I think that's
really
just
bad,
awful. I don't
but
think it's a good way to live. So yeah. That's sumo wrestlers and school teachers.
yeah, but maybe we should talk a bit more about schools and how it affects us directly with cheating. Maybe we should just talk about that, right? And incentives. What kind of incentives do you guys feel? Yeah. Would you say?
I think today, like, money is probably the biggest incentive in probably any culture, like, all around the world. Everybody's constantly trying to get ahead, and that incentives for certain people, like, provoke better work in most situations, especially in, like, the workforce and stuff.
That's very true. We really see that with the teachers.
Not even that. People do ridiculous things for money. Like you look at half these game shows and stuff,
Sure.
and there's people like eating spiders and stuff to get all this money.
Yeah.
You are very true. They make idiots out of themselves just so they can get money. And
So basically, we agree that money is the biggest incentive, and
Money is
pretty
a big
much,
incentive.
and
yeah,
people will do anything.
What were the other two types of incentives, Meg?
moral and social. Moral is probably like guilt.
Oh, like the SPCA commercials.
Oh my god, I went to
Yes.
the SPCA today, and it was just so sad because you do want to take everything. It's just like you think it's morally wrong for you to like for this to be happening when you could do something to change about it.
Yeah.
And then social pressure is definitely a huge thing today, especially with us being in high school and social media becoming very big in our lives and everybody constantly wanting to fit in. It's a big pressure that I think all high school students go through.
Yeah. Incentives definitely have an impact.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yep.
Want to go to chapter 2?
Chapter 2. I think we should move on to chapter 2.
Okay, chapter 2 is about the KKK and the real estate agents have in common about knowledge and information and their power over society, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Basically, the power that knowledge has over a certain group, especially with the Ku Klux Klan, because we all know what that is. We've all learned about it, and it was just crazy how one person can make a whole group think like such horrible ideas.
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, real estate agents didn't exactly have that effect on society. They were
Yeah.
just kind of taking advantage of like the people who wanted to sell their houses and didn't really know what to get their best price for, but they did, and they kind of used it against themselves, which is back to the incentives. They were just kind of using a money incentive. They didn't really think about anything else besides the money for themselves rather than their client, which was pretty ridiculous.
I think power is pretty much obtained by like trying to manipulate other people to think what you think, and it's pretty much all in the favor of yourselves. Like the real estate agents, like they'll put in as much work as that they're going to get out of it. Like it's all about the return.
Yeah, it says that consumers are going to try to maximize for the total satisfaction, and then sellers are going to try and maximize for the best profits, and it's basically everyone's for themselves.
I saw it was comparing like the real estate agents to car salesmen and funeral directors, and I never really thought about funeral directors that way, but like they really
They're
do.
manipulative.
Yeah,
I think that's
they
awful.
need to
They're
pay
manipulative.
so much
Like
money
you're taking
for,
somebody's like horrible like emotions. Like we've all been through like death.
Yeah.
That's just awful, and they're just manipulating it to get you to spend as much as you can.
Yeah, really. It's just,
And I'd probably do it.
I would do it. If
Yeah,
like that was
it's
like
like-
God forbid, like one of my parents or something, and they were like,
God,
"You're
what?
not going to get a nice coffin for them."
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like they're like, "You're right, I should." Like that's so messed up.
No.
That is messed up. Like you would never like not want the best for your parents after like they pass,
Mhm.
but like they would really.
Even
manipulate
I read an
someone.
article, like I think it was like last year, about there were some people in like bigger cities, especially around holidays, where like they were saying like to donate to, it was like homeless people and stuff, but like it wasn't actually going to homeless people. Like they were just completely taking advantage of everybody, and it kind of goes back to them like the less you know, the easier it is to get taken advantage of.
It is.
That's very true. That's very true. Okay. Stop. I'm gonna go with chapter 6.